Data validation is another area of Microsoft Excel that you will need to be familiar with for the examination. Along with being referred to as data validation, it is also known as data integrity or data entry restrictions. A common example of a question would be, how can I ensure data integrity in Microsoft Excel 2007? The answer? By using data validation. You will find data validation under the Data tab in the Data Tools ribbon on your machine. Data validation has a pull-down next to it that allows us to choose data validation, circle invalid data, or clear the validation circles. When you use data validation, there are certain settings that will still allow you to put in an answer outside of the rule. In these cases, you can actually have Excel circle that data. Let's review the tool. First, select either the cell or column or row that you'd like to see the validation applied to. Next, simply go to the data validation tool and you're ready to go. Notice on the settings screen that it allows any value. The default setting in Microsoft Excel is to allow any value on any cell. I am going to the pull down and you'll notice that I can say a whole number, decimal, list, date, time, text length. There are a variety. I'm going to choose whole number. When I choose whole number, I can now choose what my data needs to be contained within. In this case, I'm going to say 1 and I'm going to say 9. So you can enter a number between 1 and 9. Now once I put in that number, I have the ability to give you an input message. The input message is to tell you what to do. If I want you to enter a number between 1 and 9, I'm going to simply type in, enter a number between 1 and 9. Now when I say OK, you'll notice that the minute I am on any of the cells that I had chosen, a flag appears to say enter a number between 1 and 9. So the key here is, how do I flag a data validation? The answer, by using an input message. I am going to return to data validation and simply remove the input message from this area. This time I'd like to go to the error alert. In the error alert, I am going to type in the same message. The alert does not appear unless you put in a number that does not match the information on the screen. And you will note you have 3 different styles of alerts that you can actually use on the screen itself. I can use a stop, I can use a warning, or I can use information. An error message, the stop, tells a user that they have to retry or cancel. You cannot enter any invalid data. A warning means the user can enter the data and continue data entry or cancel. Informational is strictly to let you know that it's outside of the range. Only stop will allow you not to enter the data. Let's try it. I'm choosing stop and saying OK. I am now going to go in and put in the number 11, and when I tab, you'll notice the error comes up and says enter a number between 1 and 9. I will have to change to a number between 1 and 9 before it'll allow me to continue. That's the component of stop. Going back to data validation again, I'm going to choose the same error alert but turn it to information. I am now going to say OK and simply put in the number 11 and a message again appears. However, this time I can say OK and it will accept the entry. Because the entry is outside of my rule, I may want to actually go ahead and either change it to an alert of stop or go to my pull down and ask it to circle the invalid data. When I select circle the invalid data, you'll notice that a red circle has appeared around the 11 to note that it is outside of the norm. Keep in mind that working with the circle invalid data is a brand new tool in Excel 2007. Validation has existed for a while, but not the ability to circle a number that is outside of the norm. Play with different scenarios in the data validation. Set some rules for dates, for numbers, even for text fields. Become thoroughly comfortable with the tools prior to the examination.